Hey guys, Tin here, and I'm going to tell you some Minnesota urban legends. Because I do really like creepy things. Ooh. So I thought I would tell you scary tales from each of the 50 states. Which, yeah, is going to take a while. But I think it would be a fun series to do. And I wanted to start out with my home state of Minnesota. So, without further ado, the Wabasha Street Caves in St. Paul. And then it says the Wabasha Street Caves in downtown St. Paul, located beside the Mississippi River, are man-made. They were carved out of sandstone in the 1840s and were used for mining glass, making silica. Later, the caves were used for food storage, growing mushrooms, and during the 1920s and 1930s were the ideal hangout for St. Paul's upper crust seeking to indulge in prohibited alcoholic beverages. Various gangsters, such as Ma Barker, John Dillinger, and Babyface Nelson, enjoyed the caves for entertainment, rubbing elbows with the local gentry. Currently, the caves host hours, conventions, banquets, special events, and private parties. Dubbed in 2013 by USA Today by one of the 10 greatest places to discover the city's secrets. The caves are also said to be haunted. Some of the ghostly encounters include several gangsters who seem to enjoy interacting with children, the ghost of a woman who seems to be looking for something or someone, an apparition of a man in 1920s style clothing, including a Panama hat. Bar area hosts the ghost man But the bar area hosts the ghost of a man meeting up with the apparition of a woman. The theater, a ghostly male figure was seen sitting in the audience during a rehearsal. And then the ghosts of three murdered gangsters are often seen wandering about. And then Holy Name Cemetery, Wayzata. I've actually been here and I didn't experience anything personally, but I went there at night too, so. And then Holy Name Cemetery is one of the oldest cemeteries in Minnesota, having been organized in 1856. It is a resting place for some of the earliest pioneer settlers, missionaries, and Civil War veterans. According to the book Twin Cities Haunted Handbook, 100 Ghostly Places You Can Visit in and around Minneapolis and St. Paul, the cemetery is surrounded by ghost stories. Some ghostly encounters include a white apparition is seen that flits through the cemetery at night. But when visitors approach the figure, it vanishes. Then footsteps and disembodied voices have been heard. Headlights of a car entering the cemetery suddenly disappears and no car can be found or heard. Then odd meteorological phenomena happens, such as calm weather outside the cemetery but violently windy inside. And then I've actually heard about this place on ghost investigation stories, but I must have missed the location because it's in Minnesota. The Palmer House Hotel and Restaurant, Sauk Center. According to Minnesota Monthly, the most haunted site in Minnesota, one of the most haunted sites in America, is the Palmer House and Hotel and Restaurant. The original hotel, Sauk Center House, was built in 1863, but burned down in 1900 in a mysterious fire. It is said that several people hiding in the basement perished in the fire. In 1901, a couple named Palmer rebuilt the hotel with 40 rooms. The hotel is listed as a National Historic Site. Tales of ghostly activity. Many paranormal investigation groups and television shows, such as Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures, have investigated Palmer House Hotel. TA had several incidents recorded, such as footsteps, voice coming over the team's spirit box, and team members pinched and scratched. Haunted rooms reported several paranormal incidences have occurred over the years, including a young blonde boy with green eyes is seen on the staircase walking to the second floor. A bouncing ball in a hallway, followed by voices of young children, have been reported. The basement incites feelings of terror in visitors. Poltergeist activity occurs in the bar. The spirit of Sinclair Lewis, a famous Minnesota author, is seen in the hotel. Electrical disturbances with lights and TVs turning off and on in some guest rooms, all with all new wiring, are reported. Room 17, prostitute spirit Lucy dislikes male guests and slams the door to the room. The temperature drops frequently. Ghostly figures touching the legs of guests have been reported. Room 11, the room is colder than other rooms, and guests often have the sensation of a cat jumping on the bed. Room 22, a residing spirit known as Raymond was supposedly Lucy's pimp and makes himself known to guests. And you can actually still make reservations to this hotel. Maybe I'll try it and then videotape my experiences. And at St. Mary's College, Heffron Hall, Winona, the ghost that supposedly haunts Heffron Hall at St. Mary's College is a mixture of truth and urban legend. Truth. In 1915, Father Louis Lesches tried to kill Bishop Patrick Heffron while the latter was celebrating a private mass on the second floor of St. Mary's Hall. Lesches fired 3 shots, one striking the bishop in the thigh, but the bishop recovered from the wound. Lesches was tried and found guilty. Truth. In 1931, Father Edward W. Lynch's charred body was found in his bed, located on the 3rd floor in St. Mary's Hall. Urban legend. Time eroded the facts. Eventually, the story was embellished to claim that Father Lesches actually assassinated Bishop Heffron. KQAL interviewed Heffron Hall ghost expert and St. Mary's graduate Patrick Merrick in 2 parts about the story of the hall and the ghost stories that followed. He told his own ghost story of Heffron Hall. Merrick woke up one night after a dream of being choked by a dark figure to find the bedsheet wrapped around his throat and the other end of the sheet tied to the bedpost. Ever since the 1940s, there have been reports of all kinds of paranormal activity at this location. That include a hooded figure knocking on a student's door late at night, students waking up to find a dark figure in the room, and temperature drops recorded by the school newspaper. Investigators. There are many anecdotal stories that have been told and retold over the decades. Other stories about Heffron Hall encounters include the sound of footsteps and tapping of a cane in the hallway, unexplained cold winds have been felt, and students report an invisible force that prevents them from entering the floor. And then Anoka State Hospital, Anoka. The Anoka State Hospital operated for 99 years and was originally a transfer hospital, which meant patients from overcrowded asylums were transferred to Anoka in an effort to lessen their population burdens. The patients selected to be transferred to Anoka were often the chronic incurables. According to Haunted Places, there is a maze of tunnels underneath the asylum, and this is where most of the paranormal activity has been witnessed. Stories surrounding the patients using the underground tunnel system in attempted escapes. It is said that those who didn't escape, which were most, committed suicide by hanging themselves from the tunnel ceiling pipes. The tunnels are rumored to be closed and only used by security and maintenance personnel. Paranormal activity includes cold spots have been felt, spooky laughter and evil whisperings are heard, strange noises come from everywhere, approaching footfalls have been heard. Then Grey Cloud Island, Island Township. The island was named after a local Dakota woman, Grey Cloud Woman. The history of Grey Cloud Island dates back to the Native Americans and woodland burial mound builders from about 100 BC to 680. According to the Washington County Historical Guide, the island has the largest concentration of mounds in the country. Due to the burial mounds, the island is considered sacred ground by most Native Americans. The only known Indian village in Washington County was located on the island. A small channel, Grey Cloud Slough, separates the island from the mainland. Sparsely populated, WCHD reports that since the 1990s, the land forming the island has shrunk from 3,800 acres to 2,000 acres due to water levels rising. Some of the paranormal activity reported can be explained, such as the phantom beat-up white pickup truck that chases intruders off the island. While some witnesses have reported that the truck was driverless, others report an irate islander intent on forcing intruders off the island. Other paranormal activities include green glowing orbs and glowing green clouds are seen along the roads. Omen scream comes from the cemetery. A light hovers above the ground, roads, and woods and moves through the cemetery. A phantom motorcycle roars across the island. A young mother is seen kneeling over a dead baby. A dark figure leaning against a cemetery gatepost smoking a cigarette is often seen. And then the old jail bed and breakfast, Taylor's Falls. The old jail bed and breakfast is said to be Minnesota's oldest jail building. The northern building on the property was used as a funeral home during the 1800s and a haberdashery sewing goods store during the 1920s and 1930s. The one-story stone structure was built in 1869 by the Schottmuller brothers and was connected to a cave tunnel that led to a brewery that they owned that was located further up Angel Hill. The brothers opened a saloon and stored their beer in the cave. In 1884, the jail was built beside the saloon. According to haunted places, there have been reports of the apparition of a boy that moves about the second and third floors of the inn. The apparition of a woman is also seen on the third floor. In 2013, the Minnesota Paranormal Investigation Group was invited to investigate the old jail at B&B and discovered from the owners about the many reported sightings that included an old steamship captain smoking a cigar and walking from one room to another. An old lady is seen, and sometimes she's in the company of a young boy. The spirit of a prostitute, wears perfume so pungent it's jokes, it's seen. She also likes to tear down curtains. During the night, the investigators experienced several paranormal activities. EVPs were captured through the use of a spirit box. A child's laughter was heard. A reporter accompanying the team was a non-believer but witnessed these events and more. During a staring session where two people sat across from each other, the reporter witnessed a female team member's face turn into a skull, then turn into a young Japanese girl followed by an angry old woman. And then the Minneapolis City Hall, Minneapolis. 120-year-old Minneapolis City Hall has long been rumored to be haunted, especially on the 5th floor. Many people blame John Moshik as the ghost haunting City Hall, and he creates quite a stir. In 1898, Moshik was the last man hanged in the entire state of Minnesota. He was tried and convicted of murder in a botched attempt to rob $14. According to the Southwest Journal, Moshik shot and then beat to death his robbery partner John Lemke for refusing to steal from people. During Moshik's execution, the hangman made a mess of things, and it took over 3 minutes for Moshik to die. The place where he hanged is a modern-day waiting area for jail visitors. Many locals believe that Moshik's angry spirit haunts the courtrooms. Some of the paranormal activity includes unexplained shadows are seen on the 5th floor courtrooms. Items in the courtroom have been moved. Judges and lawyers suddenly become severely ill while holding court. Pictures fall off walls. Lights flicker on and off. Doors and windows open and close on their own. In the 2011 Southwest Journal reported that one night in 1980, Stephen Maxwell was vacuuming while in plaster in the library when a cold chill overcame him and he heard a voice say, "What are you doing up here?" several times. Maxwell has witnessed a cloud moving in the hallway. When he's working in the attic, he has felt the presence of someone walking behind him. Then the Greyhound Bus Museum in Hibbing. Historically, the Greyhound Bus Museum marks the place considered to be the starting point of the U.S. passenger bus industry. What makes the museum so interesting to ghost hunters is that it is beside a cemetery. The museum was built on land that was used for a 1918 yellow fever outbreak quarantine camp. Hibbing Park Cemetery was ideally located so that bodies could easily be disposed from the camp. Some of the reports include resident ghosts move about the museum, employees witness bus windows opening and closing on their own, museum visitors report seeing shadows that appear and disappear, tools disappear then show up somewhere else neatly stacked, strange noises are heard, shadows dart between buses, the apparition of a little girl is active around 5 a.m., witnessed by local police, and then EVPs of a little girl have been captured by various paranormal investigators. And then this is the last one that's mentioned in the article. The Montgomery Golf Club. Montgomery. The Montgomery Golf Club, according to a 2013 Center Leader article on the LeSueur County Paranormal Activity, LeSueur County Paranormal Society, a notorious haunting. The Shadowlands reports that a farmer, the former owner of the land, was buried at the first hole. His spirit has been watching the clubhouse from different areas along the golf course. Employees see the farmer in his hat and overalls when they are locking up at night. Another ghost is said to be one of the golf club founders. His ghost is seen sitting at the bar. His ghost also appears into windows as employees look up. And then other odd incidents include TVs turn themselves back on after being off for some time. The air conditioner thermostat turns itself down below 50 degrees. And I can make a part 2 of this video if you want, because there are many more of the Minnesota urban legends that I'm just dying to share with you. And yeah, I actually live by quite a few of these haunted locations since I do live in a suburb of Minneapolis. So maybe, just maybe, I can give you a look around. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this creepier video. And I am thinking of branching off into other states and other countries as well. So stay tuned. If you like this video, be sure to let me know so I know to make more videos like this. But yeah, thanks for watching. And hopefully I didn't scare you guys too much.